talking about focus and intent. There's one rule we have to keep in mind. It's not so much a rule as it is a basic principle. Wherever your focus and your intent or your awareness go, the energy will follow. So if you focus, for instance, on your hand, your physically based energy and your awareness will be targeted towards your hand. So if you look at your hand, you even increase this connection that you have with this physical part of your body. And the same goes for energy. So if, for instance, in a specific movement, say the second exercise, you focus not only on your physical body, but furthermore, you focus also on your energy, expanding to the left and to the right, outside of your body as you inhale and come into position. This will actually form sort of a bubble around you that's gently expanding. And then the focus shifts as soon as you let go. You'll release the tension. The bubble changes, the energy changes, there is an energy flow. And that's one of the most important intentional things to do, apart from doing your movement correctly. Now the movement will already help you to target energy, will already help you to improve certain areas in your well-being, in your physical structure. The other part next to that is what is your intent doing with your energy? Because if you do the exercises, maybe even in a perfect way, physically, but your mind is, oh yeah, and then I have to go shopping, and I have to go to, I don't know, IKEA and buy a chair, and then I have to do this project, and I have to call my mother, and I have to call this, and I do that, and what am I going to eat tomorrow, and oh yeah, and my kids, and oh, and I need a plaster for my house. And if your thoughts are completely caught up doing something else that has nothing to do with your physical exercise, then you might just do aerobic. You probably gain more from it. Qigong is a conscious exercise, and it's extremely important that when you do the movement, when you do the exercises, you are aware of what you're doing. Furthermore, you're not just aware, you actually use your awareness, your intention, in order to direct your energy, to direct your focus. By doing so, you make a big difference between just a simple body movement and a body movement with a content. Content being the important word here, because just performing a certain type of movement can potentially increase your physical health via coordination. But actually seeing health as what it is, a holistic, very complex thing where emotion, thought, energy, body, vibration, interaction with your surrounding, where all those parts are connected with each other and interwoven with each other. You can't even pull out one of them without having an effect on all the others as well. So it's very important that all those Qigong exercises, they are actually built in such a way that whenever you perform them, you're doing something on all levels. You're doing something on your physical level, you're doing something on your emotional and mental or psychological level, and you're doing something on your energy level. And only by that, the exercises will unfold their full potential. What does this mean exactly for you? It means that in different exercises it helps to keep your mind on the task. For instance, in the first exercise, you have your breathing and you have your movement. Breathing and movement in combination already does something with your body and with your energy level. But of course, the breathing will support your energy level. The other aspect is the intentional one, because in this exercise, your intent parts. One of your intentions, one of your foci goes down into the earth through the balls of your feet. The other one goes up through the palms of your hand. So by doing so, there is already two parts where you have your focus. So you actually create those polarities, not just physically, but also in your intention. As soon as you do that, and all disturbing thoughts fall aside, then you'll do this exercise. And you'll just simply be in this exercise. You would literally be able to stand there forever. That obviously is not the exercise. It shall only show you that once you've cleared your mind and you're just centered in your intention, then there is no imbalance anymore. Neither in the emotional or mental part, nor in the physical part. And that goes for all the exercises. Now, in the first exercise, you sort of let go. You literally let go of any focus or intent whenever you bring your arms back down. Bringing the arms back up. You have the inhalation, so you have an expansion into all directions in your physical body. But your main focus is on up and down, on this differentiation. And then you let go and let the energy that's created physically, because you have a point of tension, and intentionally, you just simply let go. And this letting go will give the energy a chance to distribute itself in a way that it's supposed to be in exactly that specific moment. Might feel a little different tomorrow, or day after tomorrow, or yesterday than it does today. But that's how, when we don't try to control everything in every single situation, where we get a benefit out of exactly that focusing, targeting, and letting go. And that's very important to understand as well. Intent or focus can be two different things, but they don't have to be necessarily. So your intent is something. You clear your mind, you have a certain intent, you act on it, and you let go. You actually let the intent flow. A focus is something where you observe something over a prolonged period of time. A focus can be something limiting if you do not already manage to sort of take a step back and observe from the outside. What do I mean by that? If in a physical way, let's take this analogy in order to explain it. In a physical way, my intent is, okay, I have this stretching part up and down. And now I still focus on my movement. When I still focus on my movement, there won't be any freedom in how my arms float down. Because if I focus too much on my physical body, on certain aspects in my physical body, then it will cramp up, it will tense up. Whenever you want something to just simply flow, you have to let your focus go as well. You have to let go of your focus if you want flow in your system. And that's why it's so important to understand this concept of yin and yang, because that's exactly what it tells us also here in those exercises. Let's take number 7 exercise. Number 7 exercise is clenching the fist. I'm soft, I'm soft, I'm soft. I have a clear intent. My clear intent in this exercise is I generate pressure and I generate heat in my body in order to build up energy that afterwards is available to me on a physical and metaphysical level. So coming in here, I don't really think anything the last couple of seconds where there is most tension. But when I let go, I don't think anything, at least until the part when I start to inhale and move to the second side. That's the most important part. So inhalation, you have your intent, you know what you want to do, you're going to position your body correctly, you're going to tense up your body. As soon as you start tensing up your body, you see that it's almost impossible to have a proper thought, because all the energy, also your mental energy, suddenly is used to generate this tension, is used to generate this power in your body. Once that happened and you let go, you still have no thoughts. But that's quite different then. Why? Because then suddenly it's not that you don't have any thoughts because all the energy is used somewhere else. Then it's that you don't have any thoughts because for a moment your whole body is in a flow situation. And whenever you're in a flow situation, you can't focus on a thought. Your consciousness is always much faster than your mental aspect. Think about it. When you think about a sentence, whatever you want to say is already there. You just haven't used words to express it yet. And it's the same here. I use tension, I release. There is a difference between conscious observing and just simply experiencing flow. From the tensional point, the first release is actually something that clears your head, where you just experience a flow. Before, for the second side, you build up this intent to generate manifest energy again. And that goes for all the exercises. That's just one tiny little example. It's the same with the number 3 exercise, or let's take the number 4 exercise. I have my arms down here, I inhale, come to the side. I know what I want to do. It's number 4 exercise, it's the exercise for my lungs. I want to open my lung 1 point, I want to inhale, I want to get this gentle stretch on my bronchioles and on my upper respiratory tract in order to clean it, in order to clean the lungs, to support the lungs, to get the energy flowing in this area, to support my Wei Qi, my protective Qi, all those things. Okay, I have this roughly in mind, not targeting it specifically, and then I just move. Until my head is completely on the side, I still have this focus in mind. I still know what I want to do. And as soon as I let go, and I allow my head to float back to the middle, as soon as that happens, once again, there's a short period of time where your mind is blanked. and you just simply let go. And the energy that you build up with your focus, with your intent before, distributes itself in the body automatically. When we look at the exercises from this point of view, or say not just the exercises, say life in general, that's what life should be about. Life shouldn't be about running, doing, thinking consciously and acting consciously and, oh yeah, and I have to do this and I have to do that and I have to work for that. If you put energy into some work, then there'll always come the point where you have to let go in order for your work to work for you. That's the only possible, sustainable way of living. You can't continuously put effort into something. You have to put effort in, and then at some point you have to let go. You have to allow nature to take its course. You have to allow the energies to put themselves into a new order. Why? Because you can't control everything. It's just simply not possible. Your mind is much too limited. The mind of every human being is much too limited, because that's something the mind isn't built to do. The mind is built to observe, the mind is built to understand, the mind is built to communicate with some others of my own species. But the mind is not built to understand absolutely everything that happens while it's happening. The mind is too slow for that. And even if we were using 50, 60, 70% of our brains, which we don't, even then it still wouldn't be possible to observe everything and live it at the same time. Whenever you make a scientific study and you try to understand a certain aspect of life on a deeper level, you only focus on something specific and you take this out of context. You sort of try to freeze it in time and take a look at it. Flow. No matter if in a physical sense, if in an energetic sense, if in a breathing sense, the flow of air, the motion, or in a spiritual sense, where it's this flow experience, where suddenly people describe things that are happening that almost seem like magic, or that actually are magic, or at least magical to them. As soon as we are talking about something like that, that's only because there is an intent. You put an energy into this intent and then you let go. By doing so, you make sure to interact rather than to act all on your own. Life is about interaction. Life is about companionship, but not just with one specific partner. I'm not talking relationship here. But I'm talking about supporting aspects of life. Whatever you do, for instance, you're in your work and you're an engineer. How long would it take you to actually plan and construct a train from scratch? Probably quite a long time. But if you have a team of people working together, you can do it in a fraction of the time. And that's what life is all about. You do not have to do all the work on your own. You can work and then let go, and let literally the world help you to take the next steps. But if you don't do that, you try to make steps in areas where there isn't even a ground yet. But if you let go in between, then suddenly a path literally will show, possibilities will open that you would not have been able to consider before. That's what intent and focus is truly about. You have an intent, you support it with some energy, and then you let go. And then again, you take focus again. This has nothing to do with, oh yeah, I'd really like to be healthy, but I'm just gonna go to the doctors and let the doctor do all the work. It's about companionship, right? That's not how it works, because it's your life. If you want to be healthy, you have to do something for it. But to do something for your health doesn't mean run for it. It doesn't mean trying to do something for your health at every second throughout your whole life. There will be situations when you're doing something for your health, conscious breathing, conscious eating, conscious movement, meditation, swimming, something like that. And then there will be moments when you're not doing anything on a conscious level for your health. But still, the way you are living, once you have set the intent that you want to live healthy, the way you're living is already a way that supports your idea of being healthy without you having to focus on it all the time. And that's called living. And living is the most important thing of all. Because if you only focus and work and run, and there is no living anymore, then what's the point in the whole thing? Living means experience, and experience is what makes life living for. And if you want positive experiences, and that's what you focus on, then you'll have positive experiences, because you can personally help to create them and to create those situations in your own life, starting from your very own health. If you want to create a healthier, stronger body, you can do those exercises using intent. Your intention and your letting go, your intention and your letting go will create a flow in your being and in your system, and it will propel your exercises to the next level, where you'll actually be able to move mountains, in a manner of speaking. And that's where life and those exercises are really getting interesting. Do I think that everyone can do it? Yes, definitely. For some, it might be easier than for others, but still, each and every one can achieve this point of flow, and this point of living your own life using intent and letting go, intent and letting go, thus starting to flow through your life rather than running. Have a wonderful time and enjoy your life. Remember that it's about more than just doing and doing and doing and doing and doing all the time. Remember that life is about experience and flow. Whenever you come to this point, to this realization that you can do something, work, and then let go, and let this work actually work for you, that's the point where you start to experience true freedom in yourself, in your emotions, in your body, in your mind, in your thoughts. Because that's the point when you're not dependent anymore on some sort of rules that someone or you yourself imposed on you. That's when you start to use your intention out of your feeling, where your intention isn't that much fueled anymore by thoughts of the future or of fear, but where your intention is suddenly fueled by your gut feeling, by what your instinct tells you. And those are the things that really matter. Those are the things that will propel you forward in your life on all levels, because that's one of the important basic aspects of how to actually live healthy on all levels: emotionally, mentally, physically, energetically, spiritually. It doesn't matter. This doesn't necessarily mean that you're not able or that you won't experience any negative things anymore. Sometimes there will be very positive things, sometimes there will be not so very nice things. Well, that's also part of it. But the point is, whenever there is something that you perceive as negative, using those basic ideas of work and let go, or intent and let go, are a very basic and very powerful tool to help you to deal with such situations, because you're not caught up in them anymore. You're not entangled with them anymore. And that's where true freedom starts.